Hi, my name is Clorama. I'm a product manager on the Oculus for Developer team. I help build tools and features for developers just like yourself who are helping us shape the future of VR. If you're new to these videos, we talk about top news, releases, opportunities that developers can leverage. If you've missed the past few, feel free to check them out at links below. Today we're going to be talking about App Lab submissions and how to avoid common VRC failures that we've been seeing, so that way you can have a successful submission the first time around. Very quickly, here are some top questions I've been hearing from our VR developers. 1, how long is the review process? So App Lab submissions are reviewed on a first come, first serve basis. Due to the high volume of submissions and as well as the high number of failures that we've been seeing, the review time is tracking to be around 4 to 5 weeks on average. Our goal is to significantly reduce this wait time as we get through this initial wave. Second question we've been hearing, can we update apps that are in while they're in review? Their submitted apps have like a window opportunity to be updated until the status changes to under review. Once your app is under review, you will not be able to make updates to your build, and you have to wait for the approval team feedback to make those changes. Because of that, we do recommend that you submit your builds when you're ready to launch to the public and make updates after approval or as requested from the review team. If you do choose to update your app while it's under review, this does reset your position in the queue. Third question, what to expect after approval. When a submission isn't approved, the app is published immediately. The app will be re-reviewed periodically to make sure that they still meet our policies. Build updates can be submitted anytime after approval, and they will publish immediately. Metadata updates like cover art or app description will be reviewed prior to them being released. All right, so let's talk about some common review failures that we've been seeing. These failures do lengthen the time for each review. So 1, asset requirements. Asset requirements is the most common issue area for apps that contribute to failures. For example, making sure your hero art is centered, which is asset.4. Asset.3, store cover art must not include text or on the top or bottom 20% of your image, and also just making sure your logo is on a transparent background, as seen here described in asset.1. So while we are relaxing some of these constraints due to this overwhelming volume that we're trying to get through, all these assets are still very much required to be approved for submission on the platform. And this is again to ensure a positive user experience for your users, making sure that things are usable and not overlapping in the Quest OS environment. You can find some helpful asset templates that our team put together at links again down below. You can take these asset templates and upload them directly into your design program of choice, and that can help you make sure you're meeting the criteria as well. Another issue that we get a lot is excessive permissions. So we value and assess for reasonable data permissions in order to respect the privacy and concerns of our users. So when you're using APIs for your app, make a list of all the permissions that are being used and remove any of them that don't have a reasonable explanation for its use. So we do have a guideline as well, as seen linked here, and that will show you how to gather this list in your app. We also have other great resources about Android permissions included in the description. Lastly, functionality. So there's a couple of high functionality failures that we've been seeing. Functional.2, which is single player apps, must be able to pause when the user takes off their HMD or opens the Oculus Dash. Functional.7, if your app requires internet connectivity for its functionality, please notify users with a prompt. They may not be connected to the internet when it's required. So again, we have this laid out detailed here in our VRC guidelines that can provide some context on how to do this. So remember, the best way to get your app published as speedy as possible is to double check that your app meets all the VRC requirements. You'll find the VRC guideline link down below, as well as a download link to the App Lab test plan that you can use to ensure that you're meeting all the requirements. Thank you all again for your feedback so far. We're listening and we're continuing to refine the process so that we can better support you. We're so inspired again by the excitement around App Lab as a new distribution channel. We thank you to the developers who are on this journey with us. Can't wait to play your apps.